No, no, no. She can shoot this. And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Boshermer Gymnasium on the campus of Brevard College. Glad you're able to join us for this edition of Brevard College Volleyball, another USA South Conference matchup for the Tornadoes, really in the stretch run here of USA South Conference play as the Tornadoes will face the Greensboro Pride. Greensboro, formidable opponent, 17-7 overall. 10-4 in the USA South Conference, currently fourth in the standings. Tornadoes looking to move up those standings, 13-9 overall, 5-7 in the USA South Conference. And the Greensboro Pride and Brevard College Tornadoes continuing their warm-ups here at the Boshermer Gymnasium. It's Dig Pink night here at the Bosch. A opportunity to continue Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in October and partnering with the Sight Out Foundation to support breast cancer patients throughout the country. Sight Out is dedicated to empowering communities like ours to make a real impact on those battling breast cancer. Go to www.side-out.org to donate or for more information here in the Dig Pink program. Well, stick with us. Greensboro and Brevard coming up in about 14 minutes. Tornadoes in Pride here at the Bosch. And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Boshamer Gymnasium on the campus of Brevard College for tonight's volleyball matchup between the Greensboro Pride and your Brevard College Tornadoes. Before we announce tonight's starting lineups, a special announcement if we can have volleyball fans direct your attention to mid-court for a special presentation. This past weekend, senior McKenna Parkins recorded match-high 16 kills at Meredith. Those 16 kills put Parkins above the 1,000 kill threshold for her illustrious Tornado career. Now with 1,006 kills, Parkins is now just the third Tornado in the NCAA era to join the 1,000 kill club. How about a big round of applause for senior McKenna Parkins, now a member of the 1,000 kill club. Ready to get things going here. Greensboro versus Brevard, a special presentation prior to today's matchup for McKenna Parkins, who joins a elite club, the 1,000 kill club. Big number to get to throughout a collegiate career, and McKenna Parkins has done actually that. The third Tornado to ever accomplish that in the NCAA era here at Brevard College. So big congratulations to McKenna Parkins. But knowing McKenna and this Tornado team, they're ready for the business at hand, which is the Greensboro Pride, who come in here with a strong record, 17-7 overall, 10-4 in the USA South Conference. They swept Tornadoes back at their place in early October, 3-0. So a formidable opponent, a big challenge for the NATOs today. But Brevard ready to defend their home court and getting another chance here against the Greensboro Pride. So getting things started here for the Pride. It's Jalen Templeton with the service. Lance, here's Boulay, Parkins. And Parkins make it 1,007 kills. Point Tornadoes. So Tornadoes strike first, the early 1-0 lead. And Caroline Moon will get things started for the NATOs on the service end of things. Lance, Boulay, nice job with the block there. Del Castillo and Brantley both there. Del Castillo there again. Parkins, beautifully done. And that's another winner from Parkins. Point Tornadoes. So an early 2-0 lead. And Moon will continue her service. Carla Del Castillo with the Greensboro's first point. Point Pride. And serving now will be Kelsey Brooks, junior from Burlington, North Carolina. Brooks sends it over, handled by Lance. Big hit there, and the finish for the Tornadoes. That's Casey Wampler. Point Tornadoes. So 3-1, NATO's on top early on here. Bailey Lance, the libero. What a career she's had. And another service ace for Lance. Tornadoes ace. So a 4-1 lead for the Tornadoes. Now, we were talking about Parkins. Lance, Brevard College's all-time leader in the service ace department for her career. Point Pride. Carla Del Castillo has proven to be an early factor here for Greensboro. We'll keep an eye on her throughout the match. Number 11. 4-2. Tornadoes on top. Moon digs it up. Here's Parkins. Back the other way. Dug up by Lance. Nice battle at the net, and then a diving save by Lance. Here's Wampler. A diving save the other way by Mayfield, the libero. Beautifully played point by both sides. Boulay, Parkins. Mayfield keeping it alive yet again. Big time play at the net there by Fontana. And then the winner for the Tornadoes. Great point all the way around. Point Tornadoes. One of the better played points we've seen here at the Boschmer Gymnasium all season long. Both sides keeping things going. As Lily White checks into the match, she will handle the service. Lily White, the sophomore out of Maryland. Big hit there for Greensboro. Point Pride. Taylor Cody, junior from just down the street, Greensboro, North Carolina. Fontana with a big hit, well defended by Peyton Wright. Here's Wright in the finish. Point Pride. Krista Brantley now will handle the serve after the winner from right. Brantley, another North Carolina native, the senior. Boulay setting up Wampler. Now Lance is going to send it over to Moon. Moon, nice job handling the right attack. And that's a winner there from Taylor Cody. Point Pride. And the Pride has evened things up at 5 points apiece. And Brantley will go back to work. Well done there by Boulay. Point Tornadoes. The craftiness of the Tornadoes setter, Izzy Boulay. Casey Wampler now with the serve, part of this sensational freshman class out of Blountville, Tennessee. Here's Boulay. Moon, big hit. Pride somehow keep that alive. Well done defensively by Greensboro. Now Fontana, big hit, but it's ruled off the hand of Greensboro, so the point goes to the Nados. Point Tornadoes. So the attack actually sailed long, ruling by the linesman long, but off the hand of the Pride. And the bottom line, it's a point for Brevard. Now ahead 7-5, but make it 7-6 after that. Point Pride. Taylor Cody. She has come alive these last few points. So we've seen Castillo, Del Castillo, Cody. Seems like this front line at Greensboro, certainly a challenge for the Nados. Grace Young with the service. Fontana, big hit. And point will go the Nados' way. Point Tornadoes. Emma Fontana will handle the service. Another freshman for the Nados. Simpsonville, South Carolina native. Point Tornadoes. Tornadoes 9, Pride 6. So Tornadoes stretching their lead further, but a service error there is going to give it back to the Pride. Point Pride. So Grace Klingensmith will check in to serve. Junior out of Naples, Florida, Palmetto Ridge High School, way down in the southwest corner of the Sunshine State. Point Pride. (9-8) your score. So the Pride, whenever the Tornadoes get a little bit of separation, the Pride seem to come right back here in this first set. A service error there. Point Tornadoes. And Izzy Boulay will handle the service. Del Castillo. Point Pride. So Cody and Del Castillo, I have a feeling they're going to be a factor throughout this match. Those two middles for Greensboro have already made a lot happen. Point Pride. So the Pride tied it up once again at 10. Jackson Tamicki's checked in for Brevard. Also Ashley Hoxett back in. Here's Parkins. Big hit there from Brooks. Parkins again. Count it. Point, Tornadoes. McKenna Parkins adding to that total. Now in the 4-digit category. Once you get up there over 1,000 kills. Parkins trying to use that finesse again, catching Greensboro off guard, but they're ready for it that time. Here's Boulay. Parkins again. Moon sending it over. Tamicki, great job digging it up. Now Wampler. Another great rally between these two teams. Here's Moon from the backside. Big hit there. Flexing that power was Krista Brantley from the left side. Point Pride. Krista Brantley, senior outside hitter. Big time attack there. So Kelsey Brooks with the serve. Point, Tornadoes. Good looking point there from the NATO. So 11-11, make it 12-11, Brevard. Greensboro still looking for their first lead of the match. So the Tornadoes have started off hot and kept Greensboro at bay so far. Service error there is going to tie it up again at 12-12. Point Pride. Morgan Mayfield out of Mount Airy, North Carolina with the service. The jump serve from Mayfield. Here's Wampler, a big hit from the left side. Point Pride. Peyton Wright was able to somehow get that in just before that back line, and the California native gives the Pride their first lead of the match. Parkins. Point, Tornadoes. Tornadoes tie it right back up at 13 apiece. And Lily White checks back in to handle the service. Greensboro with an opportunity, well defended by the Tornadoes. Fontana and also Wampler were there, and that same duo, those two freshmen there again. Moon keeps it in play. Lance sends it over. Great job defensively. 2 plays in a row by those blockers. But Greensboro proves to be just too much on that point. Point Pride. A big-time effort, big-time work on the net there for the NATOs. 14-13 Pride. And there's a service ace. Point Pride. Krista Brantley with the ace for the Pride, and the Pride just like that now lead by 2. Moon. Point Pride. Taylor Cody slamming the door, and there's a timeout for the NATOs. Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Pride 16, Tornadoes 13, set number 1. Pride have scored 4 of the last 5 points. And the Tornadoes head coach Abby Pardee calling the timeout to try to stop that momentum and regroup the NATOs. Here's Wampler. And the NATOs get it done coming out of the timeout. Point Tornadoes. 16-14. Wampler will be rewarded with a service opportunity after that winner. Freshman outside hitter from Blountville, Tennessee. Big serve there. Just missing. Point Pride. Grace Young will check back in. She'll handle the service for the Pride. Sophomore out of Hillsboro, North Carolina. Transferred to Greensboro from UNC Asheville. Hoxit. Some action right there at the net. Mayfield sends it over. Now an opportunity for the NATOs. Moon. Moon gets it done. Point Tornadoes. Caroline Moon, what a bright spot she's been. It's like 4 or 5 matches ago, she really kind of turned the corner and has been a big, big factor ever since. Emma Fontana. Big serve there. Point Tornadoes. So big time serve there. And Fontana with the ace, 17-16. Fontana digs it up. Boulay now setting up Moon. Point Pride. Pride was there defensively, the combination of Cody and Templeton. Jalen Templeton listed as a setter, but she can get it done at the net as well. As this is Klingensmith. And that's an ace for Klingensmith, unless somehow the NATOs can get it over off the ceiling. They do. And then a great dig from Lance. Hoxit sending it over. Point Pride. Kelsey Brooks getting it done. I had called that an ace already from the Pride. It seemed so improbable that the Tornadoes could keep that alive. It bounced off a part of the roof of the ceiling, rather, of the Boschmer Gymnasium. Now another bounce off the backboard, the basketball backboard, as we're quickly approaching basketball season here at Brevard College. Point Pride. Carla Del Castillo, meanwhile, with the finish. And we talk about it every broadcast, it seems like it. Once you get to that 20-point threshold, it's almost sort of a psychological advantage as much as anything. And Greensboro's gotten there first, now 20-16. Point Tornadoes. Caroline Moon, big-time answer. Just what the doctor ordered. And Izzy Boulay, sensational setter and server for the NATOs, will handle the serve. But she sends that one a little too long. Point Pride. So now 21-17. It'll be Templeton handling the service. Templeton takes a deep breath, and now with the jump serve. To Mickey, battling at the net with Brantley. Now Hoxit on the attack. Dug up from that back row by Grace Young. Moon. Boulay. Hoxit. Mayfield digs it up. Big hit there from Brantley, dug up by the NATOs. Templeton tried to catch the NATOs off guard. She gave it right back to the NATOs, and the NATOs made them pay. Point Tornadoes. McKenna Parkins, another kill to add to her tally. Big point there for the NATOs to stay within striking distance here in this first set, 21-18. Caroline Moon with the serve. Here's Wampler. Block defense was there for the Pride. Point Pride. And Del Castillo, certainly a factor on the defensive end as well. Timeout on the floor. Your score, 22-18. Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium, set number 1, Greensboro 22, Brevard 18. Kelsey Brooks with the serve. Boulay sets up Parkins. Count it for the NATOs. Point Tornadoes. So 22-19. And Bailey Lance, sensational libero throughout her career at Brevard College, will handle the serve. Point Pride. Brantley with the winner. And the Pride now 2 points away from a set 1 victory. Mayfield with the service. She wears the white libero uniform. And the serve. Moon. Boulay sets up Wampler. Misfire there, and it's a set point for the Pride. Point Pride. Set point Pride. So Mayfield will handle the service with a set point opportunity and a bit of a cushion for the Pride, up 24-19. Parkins. Another opportunity here for the NATOs. Lance is going to set up Parkins again in the finish. Point Tornadoes. Remains set point Pride. So remains set point for the Pride. Meanwhile, 24-20, NATOs still alive here. Already the 7th kill of the match for Parkins. Lily White handling the serve for the NATOs. Here's Moon. And Moon gets it done. Point Tornadoes. Remain set point Pride. So fending off back-to-back set point opportunities for the Pride. NATOs and Lily White trying to stay alive here in the first set. But the Pride have other ideas as Cody puts it away. 25-21, set number 1.
Probably one of the prettiest places on the earth. And to come to somewhere where it's such a tight-knit community, where everybody has your back, I mean, you're not going to find that anywhere else at bigger schools.
I like to go hang out at the coffee shop, sit outside at the picnic tables, maybe do a little bit of homework there, and just socialize because there's always somebody that I know there.
Brevard does make it easy to come here. The admission process is very simple.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
Back here at the Boshamer Gymnasium, 25-21, Greensboro wins set number 1. McKenna Parkins leading the attack once again. Now 1,013 kills for her career after being honored in a pregame ceremony. 7 kills this evening. Caroline Moon with 3 kills, 2 digs. Wampler with 2 kills, Fontana with 2 as well, also a kill from Boulay. Boulay with 11 assists. Service aces from Lance and Fontana. Meanwhile, Greensboro spreading the wealth around, but we've been talking about Cody and Del Castillo, those 2 middles, each with 4 kills. Wright has 2 kills, Brantley has 3. Templeton with 12 assists, and Mayfield with 11 digs. So that brings us to set number 2. I think what the Tornadoes were able to realize there in set number 1 is that they can hang with this Greensboro club despite Greensboro's stout record and Greensboro sweeping the Tornadoes earlier this season. Tornadoes led much of the way in that first set. Several tied scores, knotting things up. And ultimately, Greensboro able to win 25-21 after the Tornadoes fended off a couple of those set point opportunities. And that brings us here to set number 2. Moon, Tamicki, Parkins, Lance, Boulay, and Hoxett on the floor for the Nados. And we are underway. Service ace there for the Nados. Tornadoes ace. Izzy Boulay, third ace of the evening. And Greensboro able to answer right back. Point Pride. Templeton with the serve. Boulay sets up to Mickey. Boulay now. Hoxett sends it over. Hoxett with a tremendous dig from the back row. Parkins, count it. Her 8th kill of the evening. Point Tornadoes. Final regular season home match for the Tornadoes, and you can sense that Parkins wants to make the most out of every possible point. Celebrated senior day last week Point Pride. So tied up at 2. Here's Parkins. Big hit there from Parkins. Count it. Point Tornadoes. Tremendous work by McKenna Parkins this evening so far. 3-2 NATO's on top. Bailey Lance with the service. Somehow kept alive by Bailey Lance. Minds are blown here at the Boschmer Gymnasium after that dig. Here's Parkins. Pride able to keep it alive. Moon then keeps it alive for the NATO's. Parkins again. Point Pride. Crowd here at the Boschmer Gymnasium not too happy about that decision, but what a rally once again between these two teams. All tied up at 3. Mayfield with the serve. Parkins to Moon. Moon, big attack there and the finish. Point Pride. Point's going to go to the Pride, however. A violation there for the NATO's. Meanwhile, a service ace for the Pride. Mayfield. Point Pride. So Pride now ahead 5-3. Service error there is going to give it back to the NATO's. Point Tornadoes. Lily White checks in. So White, Wampler, Fontana, Lance, Boulay, and Moon on the court for Brevard. Dug up there by Mayfield. Point Tornadoes. And the Tornadoes able to tie it up yet again at 5. We've seen 8 tied scores in this match so far. Boulay. Getting up high was Fontana. And Fontana again. Point Tornadoes. Nicely done, Emma Fontana. And the White service will continue. NATO's take the lead 6-5. The serve from White. And the block that time from Wampler. Point Tornadoes. So back-to-back blocks by the NATO's. By the 2 freshmen. Fontana on one side, Wampler on the other. 7-5. NATO's on top. And count it, an ace for White. Tornadoes ace. The White service will continue. 4th ace for the NATO's in this match. White was going for it again, but found the net. Point Pride. Krista Brantley now with the service. Brantley sends it over. Point, Tornadoes. Service error on Brantley, so Wampler will handle the service now for Brevard College. 9-6, NATO's on top. Point, Pride. Taylor Cody with the finish that time for the Pride, makes it 9-7. Cody now with 5 kills. Del Castillo with 6. And the service here by Grace Young. Moon. Big hit there, but received well by the Pride. Point, Tornadoes. 10-7, NATOs. Jackson Tamicki checks in. Emma Fontana handles the serve. Tornadoes, ace. So another ace for the Tornadoes. So the Tornadoes flexing their service muscles. Second ace of the match for Fontana. Fontana, big hit again from the service position, this time going cross court to Mickey there defensively at the net. Point, Pride. And who else but Taylor Cody with that winning point for the Pride. Klingensmith will handle the service for Greensboro. A 17-7 overall record heading into this match, the Greensboro Pride. 10-4 in the USA South Conference. Moon. Point, Pride. A little too much mustard on that attack from Moon. She went with the fastball and ended up long. 11-9 your score. And an ace for the Pride. Point, Pride. Make it 11-10. Speaking of fastballs, Game 4 of the World Series this evening. Dodgers with a 3-0 lead over the Yankees. And another ace from Klingensmith. Point, Pride. And the Pride have worked their way back to an 11-11 tied score. After the NATOs led 11-8, 3 straight points by the Pride. And another ace, 3 aces in a row for Klingensmith. Point, Pride. Tremendous work by Grace Klingensmith, junior from Naples, Florida, Palmetto Ridge High School. 3 consecutive aces. Hoxett's able to handle that offering. And then the attack from Moon in the finish. Point, Tornadoes. Parkins checks back in. White checks out. Boulay will handle the serve. (12-12) your score. Big time point there from Moon after the Pride had all sorts of momentum. Point, Pride. Kelsey Brooks with the finish there. 5'11" outside hitter from Burlington, North Carolina. Jalen Templeton with the serve for Greensboro College. Moon. Boulay. Here's Parkins. Count it. Point, Tornadoes. And just like that, Parkins with another double-digit performance in the kill category. We've already mentioned her career numbers, now over 1,000 career kills. Point, Tornadoes. And on the Caroline Moon service, Tornadoes wrestle another point away from the Pride. Parkins, 5 straight double-digit kill performances. Point, Pride. Service error there. Tie it up once again at 14. Parkins had 16 kills at Meredith over the weekend. That's when she went over 1,000. Already with 10. Make it 11 here in this second set. Point, Tornadoes. Libero, Bailey Lance. With the serve. And count it, it's an ace. Tornadoes, ace. So the ace has been effective for the Nados. The second of the night for Lance. 6 as a team for Brevard. Point, Tornadoes. 17-14. Tornadoes hanging with one of the top teams in the USA South Conference. And there's another ace for Lance. Tornadoes, ace. Timeout on the court. So a timeout on the court after the Tornadoes have just come alive as of late. Have stretched their lead to 18-14 here in set number 2. Back here at the Boshamer Gymnasium, a timeout called by head coach Kevin Traup of Greensboro. He's in his 7th season, and he sensed this second set starting to get away from Greensboro a bit. 18-14 your score, Bailey Lance, the hot hand at the moment. 3 aces tonight. Wampler with a big hit, handled by Greensboro. Attack there from Peyton Wright. Point, Pride. And misplayed there by Parkins, and it'll be Pride stopping that momentum coming out of the timeout. 18-15 your score. Morgan Mayfield, the libero, will serve. Boulay, Parkins. And a remarkable play there by Templeton. Point, Pride. Cat-like reflexes, Templeton getting the one hand out, and that turns into a winner. Oh, my. Mayfield with the serve. Moon, Boulay, Wampler. Off a hand of a Greensboro defender, point Nados. Point, Tornadoes. 19-16. Lily White checks back in. She's been effective with the service. Has an ace. Also a dig and an assist to her ledger. Mayfield able to keep that alive, and then the big time finish there from Cody. Point Pride. Tornadoes 19, Pride 17. Brantley will serve. Point Tornadoes. Casey Wampler with the service opportunity. Nados have hit that 20-point threshold. Great sign here in the second set, and then the finish there, shutting the door there. Fontana Moon was there as well. Point Tornadoes. 21-17. Wampler's service continues. Nice 4-point advantage for the Nados. Service error there is going to make it a 3-point margin. Point Pride. Young with the serve. Point Pride. That was a difficult sequence there for the Nados on their back heels after that serve from Young, handled by White. Now Young will serve once again. White. Boulay takes it herself. Greensboro back the other way. Attack there from Brooks, dug up by Hoxett. Hoxett, Boulay, Moon. Point Tornadoes. So service for Emma Fontana, a 3-point lead for the Tornadoes, 22-19. Back and forth we go between these two teams. Here's Moon. Big save there from Mayfield. Moon, Boulay, back to Moon. Point Pride. And the Pride cut the Tornado lead to 22-20. Checking in now, Grace Klingensmith, and watch out, she had reeled off 3 straight aces last time around. And make it a 4th ace. Point Pride. With an assist from the net cord. Lance, Boulay, Moon. Point Tornadoes. So Caroline Moon coming up big, and Tornadoes 2 points away from a set 2 victory and a chance to tie this matchup 1 set apiece. Boulay takes a couple bounces, jump serve rather. To Mickey and Parkins on the blocking side of things, and there's set point for the Nados. Point Tornadoes, set point Tornadoes, timeout on the court. So a timeout on the court as Greensboro backs against the wall here in the second set. 24-21 Nados. So set point opportunity here for Brevard College. 24-21. The serve from Boulay. Moon. Boulay back to Moon. Hawks it. Boulay now going backside to Parkins. Boulay using Tamiki in the finish. And the Tornadoes win set number 2, 25-21. All tied up, one set apiece. Set number 3 coming up next. What a finish there for the Tornadoes, who win the set 25-21 and have tied this match up one set apiece. Jackson Tamiki with the set winner.
I've taken jumps in my academic career, and I've taken jumps in just socializing and getting out and getting to do things I've never done before.
The thing that brought me to Brevard is the experiential learning. I've always been a hands-on guy.
I love it here at Brevard. Over Christmas break, I was itching to come back because I love the area so much.
Experiential learning here is beyond all of my expectations.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
On the season thus far and have won the USA South Conference regular season championship. They'll host the USA South Conference tournament beginning Saturday. The men's soccer team earns a bye in the USA South Conference tournament with their regular season performance. So they'll automatically receive a bye, bypass that first round on the men's side. They'll host USA South Conference play here at Eyes Lamel Family Field on the campus of Brevard College on Wednesday. Football coming off a big win at Huntington. First time the Tornadoes have ever won against Huntington in Montgomery, Alabama. They've beaten them here in Brevard, but first road victory for the Nados in that series. And Brevard football will be in action this weekend versus Methodist, 12 noon, senior day. Senior day presentation starts at 11:30 a.m. if you want to come out early. And then following that will be the women's soccer conference first round matchup. So a big Saturday to come here on the campus of Brevard College. Cross country will head to their USA South Conference championships this weekend as well. Best of luck to them. Great to see our cross country and track and field coaching staff here this evening. Mountain biking will be heading to the USA Cycling Collegiate National Championships in a couple weeks. That's in Bentonville, Arkansas. And, of course, volleyball. Their season runs a little different than soccer, where there's another week or so still to play. But everything from this point forward for the Tornadoes will be on the road. This is the regular season home finale for Brevard College. But you'll have opportunities to catch the Nados on the road, and the Tornadoes contending for one of those spots in the USA South Conference tournament. But first things first, this matchup versus Greensboro, the fourth place team in the USA South Conference at the moment. Salem leads the conference with a 12-2 conference record. Southern Virginia is in second place, just a half game back, 11-2. Methodist in third place, and then this Greensboro squad just a half game behind Methodist in the fourth place location. So a lot at stake in this matchup as teams jockey for position in the USA South Conference volleyball tournament still to come. Meanwhile, through two sets, McKenna Parkins with 12 kills, Caroline Moon with 7, Casey Wampler, Emma Fontana each with 2 kills, Izzy Boulay with 21 assists. 7 service aces for the Tornadoes as a team, led by 3 from Bailey Lance, also 2 from Emma Fontana, an ace for Boulay and Lily White as well. Get things started here in the third set. Point Tornadoes. So early point for the Nados, all tied up, one apiece. Also worth mentioning in the dig department, Bailey Lance leading the way with 15. Point Pride. Greensboro has been led by Taylor Cody with 8 kills, Carla Del Castillo with 6, 20 assists for Templeton. In fact, Templeton, the setter for the Pride, is responsible for every single assist for the Pride through 2 sets. All 20 of the Pride's assists coming from Templeton. Big hit there from Wampler. Boulay now setting up Moon. Nicely done there as Brantley finds an opening. Point Pride. Charlotte Michaels has checked in. She's handling the service now, the freshman from Ashland, Virginia, Hanover High School. Our first look at Michaels this third set. Parkins with a big hit there. Point Pride. And Del Castillo was there on the defensive end. We mentioned the 7 service aces for the Tornadoes, also 7 for the Pride, led by Klingensmith, who had 3 straight at one point in that second set. And Mayfield, the libero, leads in the dig department with 16, Brantley with 8 digs. Moon. Parkins, big hit there, defended nicely by Wright. Point Tornadoes. Casey Wampler, big time finish there. Her 4th kill of the match. And that'll set up Bailey Lance with the service. Del Castillo with the attack error. Point Tornadoes. Carla Del Castillo. She and Cody, we've been talking about those two all match. Meanwhile, Bailey Lance with the service. There's Del Castillo once again. Point Pride. Morgan Mayfield will handle the service now. She has an ace to her credit, has a service error as well. The libero in the white jersey. Point Pride. So Mayfield will tee up another serve here. Boulay setting up Fontana, nicely done. Point Tornadoes. Lily White will check in. She'll handle the service. Parkins checks out. Tornadoes under the direction of Abby Pardee, 3rd season at the helm of Brevard College. Eric Freet in his 1st season. Great background, great volleyball acumen. Freet, the assistant coach, brings to complement all of Pardee's knowledge as well. Moon, Boulay. Here's Wampler. Point Pride. That attack just found the line there in that corner. Linesman was all over it. Brantley, meanwhile, will handle the service. Brantley with an ace to her credit as well. Fontana. Point Tornadoes. 6-5, Pride on top. And Wampler will handle the service for the NATO. Set number 3 all tied up at 1. Point Tornadoes. Attack there. Misses on the near sideline. And Wampler. Service will continue. Point Pride. We've seen 15 tied scores and 7 lead changes already. Numbers that tell you just how close of a contest it's been. Here's Grace Young with the serve. Boulay setting up Moon. Point Pride. Taylor Cody. Big time block. And Young will serve once again. We mentioned those USA South Conference standings. How about Salem? A 12-match win streak at the moment. Point Tornadoes. Very competitive USA South Conference. Tornadoes looking to return to the tournament. Emma Fontana with the serve. And that goes long. Point Pride. Klingensmith checks in. 4 aces already to lead all players. Sends a laser over. The Nados handle it beautifully. Point Tornadoes. Really nicely done. It began with White getting under that fastball. Boulay now teeing up a serve of her own here on Dig Pink Night. Part of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Point Tornadoes. Another point for the Nados. Tornadoes wore pink warm-up uniforms to get ready for this matchup versus Greensboro, and all sorts of pink decor for Breast Cancer Awareness Month and the Dig Pink Night here at Boshemer Gymnasium. Point Pride. The combination of Michaels and Del Castillo getting it done. Now Templeton will handle the service. Moon from some distance, and that'll work. Point Tornadoes. Moon now will head to the service position. The freshman from Woodstock, Georgia. Not too far from Atlanta. Point Pride. Pride answer right back. Pride 11, Tornadoes 10. Whenever you're in one of these matches where it's one set apiece, this third set just critical. One of these teams will be in the driver's seat at the end of this set. Boulay sets up Wampler. Here comes Greensboro the other way. Wampler trying to get up high against Del Castillo and Brantley. Now Wampler sends it right over. Point Pride. So a mishit turns into a winning kill for the Pride. It's one of those where the player says, yeah, I meant to do that all along. When in fact, she barely even hit the volleyball, but somehow that made its way over the net. But the Pride will take it either way. Big hit there, dug up there by Moon on the Brantley attack. Here's Boulay. Moon. Dug up by Templeton. Point Pride. Block attempt for the Tornadoes ends up out of bounds. Pride with the point. Great to see members of the Brevard College men's soccer team on hand. Love the culture here at Brevard College. Athletes supporting each other regardless of sport. 13-10. Make it 14-10 after that service ace. Point Pride. Timeout on the court. So service ace there for Charlotte Michaels. And Pride stretched their lead to 14-10 here in the third set. Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium, 14-10 Pride on top here in the third set. Charlotte Michaels, after a service ace, will continue her service. Jump serve. Boulay right back to Wampler. Now Lance setting up Wampler again. Attack there from Del Castillo. Boulay now sets up Parkins. Templeton to Mayfield. To Wright. NATO's keep it alive. This rally continuing on. Moon. Very compelling rally between those two, but it's going to go to the NATO's way. Point Tornadoes. Head coach of Greensboro not happy about the call, but a violation there. Bailey Lance with the service. 14-11 your score. There's an ace for Lance. Tornadoes ace. Bailey Lance. All-time leader in the department of aces at Brevard College and racking them up here against Greensboro. Great job defensively, Fontana. Point Tornadoes. Another point for the NATOs. Second block credited of the solo variety to Fontana. And another ace for Lance. Tornadoes ace. Starting to heat up here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Student section starting to come alive on these Bailey Lance aces. 14-14. But a service error there is going to stop the momentum. Point Pride. So Morgan Mayfield will go back to work. Tornadoes were able to work their way back from a 14-11 deficit to tie it up at 14. Now Pride lead 15-14. Here's Wampler. Point, Tornadoes. White checks back in. She'll handle the service. And the serve from White. Fontana, big hit. Dug up there by Mayfield nicely. And an attack error for the Pride. Point, Tornadoes. Wright was trying to go cross court there. Difficult angle to land that type of attack. Meanwhile, stoppage, some perspiration being mopped up. Well, basketball season right around the corner. Tornadoes men's basketball team will kick things off on Saturday, November the 9th. Noon is tip-off for Brevard College men's basketball on the 9th versus Randolph College. Winner there for the Pride. Point, Pride. Brooks with the winner. Women's basketball getting started as well. Women's basketball starts their season at Bob Jones on Friday, November the 8th. Point, Tornadoes. Casey Wampler scores the point. Now she'll be rewarded with a service opportunity. Wampler. Moon, big hit there from Caroline Moon. Point, Tornadoes. And the Tornadoes now leading 18-16. Slamming the door shut were the Nados on that middle, but Pride able to keep it alive somehow. And now Pride with an attack of their own and the finish by Brooks. Point, Pride. Tough to create much separation against this Pride team. Every time it seems like the Nados have some momentum, the Pride able to get a point back. Young will handle the service for Greensboro on that back line for the Nados. Hoxett, White, and Lance. Up front for the Nados, Boulay, the setter, Moon, and Fontana. Well defended there by Fontana. Here's Moon. Well received by Greensboro. Brantley, nicely done. Boulay with another opportunity for Fontana. Point, Pride. And Tornadoes with some contact with the net there, and so the Pride are going to earn that point. Tight one here in the third set. 18-18 your score, tied up one set apiece. Young with the serve. Hoxett. Fontana. Off the ceiling it goes, and too hot to handle for the Pride. Point will go the Nados' way. Point, Tornadoes. Fontana with the service, 19-18. Barn burner here in the third set. Serve from Fontana. And Tamicki there with the block. Point, Tornadoes. Jackson Tamicki, big time answer there. Junior from Brandon, Florida, in that Tampa Bay area. Point, Tornadoes. And just like that, the Tornadoes, 21-18. That's going to force a timeout. Timeout on the court. So Greensboro calls the timeout as the Nados with some separation here in crunch time in the third set.
probably one of the prettiest places on the earth. And to come to somewhere where it's such a tight-knit community, where everybody has your back, I mean, you're not going to find that anywhere else at bigger schools.
I like to go hang out at the coffee shop, sit outside at the picnic tables, maybe do a little bit of homework there, and just socialize because there's always somebody that I know there.
Brevard does make it easy to come here. The admission process is very simple.
Brevard College, a top choice for students around the world.
Back here at the Boshamer Gymnasium, coming out of the timeout, Emma Fontana service will continue. Tornadoes up 21-18 here in the third set. Serve from Fontana. Long. Point Pride. So the Pride make it 21-19. Scoreboard now showing 21-19. Just want to make sure we had everybody on the same page. Klingensmith, top server of the evening for the Pride. Point Tornadoes. As that attack goes long, another point for the Nados, 22-19. And the serve from Boulay. 22-19 your score. Attack there. But off a NATO. Point Pride. So 22-20. Templeton, the setter, junior out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, with the jump serve. Moon, Boulay, Parkins. Count it. Point Tornadoes. Tornadoes now 2 points away from taking an advantage in sets here. 23-20. Moon with the serve for the Nados. Moon then with a sensational save. Boulay sends it over. Now an opportunity again. Boulay going backside to Parkins. Count it. Point Tornadoes. Set point Tornadoes. So a set point opportunity with a bit of a cushion for the Nados. 24-20. Big opportunity here for Brevard. Moon with the serve. And the Tornadoes take the third set 25-20, lead 2-1. So the Tornadoes win the third set, the critical third set, and now lead 2-1 as we head to set number 4 here at the Bosch. heading towards set number 4. Tornadoes with a 2-1 set advantage. Greensboro won the first set 25-21. Then the Tornadoes back-to-back set wins 25-21, 25-20. McKenna Parkins with 14 kills. Caroline Moon now in double-digit kills herself with 11. 31 assists for Izzy Boulay. Bailey Lance, 19, check that, 22 digs, 5 aces, 3 assists. Cody and Del Castillo have led the attack for Greensboro, each with 8 kills. Grace Klingensmith with 4 aces, 27 assists for Templeton. And Boulay will get things started for the NATOs. Point Tornadoes. Opening point goes the NATO's way here in this 4th set. And Boulay with the serve. Point Tornadoes. Back-to-back points for the NATOs. Hawks it. Nicely done. Parkins. Dug up there by Young. Boulay. Lance. Moon. Now Templeton setting up Brooks on that far side. Big hit from Moon. Point Tornadoes. A 3-0 lead for the NATOs here in the 4th set. Well, exciting times around the Brevard College. Harvest Fest tomorrow. Halloween celebrations all week long. Point Pride. Also, a men's soccer game tomorrow at Islamel Family Field. If you want to check that out, 6 p.m. Serve here from Templeton. Boulay. Moon. Big hit from Moon. Point Tornadoes. Caroline Moon. What a weapon she has become for Brevard College. Now we'll see Moon with the service. Point Pride. Credit that kill to Brooks as Michaels checks in. Brooks will handle the service. Point Pride. Tornadoes 4, Pride 3. Set number 4. Point Pride. Now all tied up at 4. It's the 23rd tied score we've had in this match. Great job by Brooks keeping that alive for the Pride. Now an opportunity for the NATOs. It's Wampler off the Boulay set. Moon. Boulay. Parkins. And using her foot to keep it alive was Jackson Tamicki, but ultimately the Pride with the winner. Point Pride. Whatever it takes to keep that volleyball off the ground. But the Pride ultimately with the winner and another lead change, the 8th lead change of the match. Tamicki with the big hit. One answer there. Point Tornadoes. So tied up again, 5-5. Bailey Lance with the serve. Lance. Parkins. Point, Tornadoes. Tornadoes 6, Pride 5. Bailey Lance with the service yet again. Lance, Boulay, Parkins. Brantley on the attack. Nados handled it well, and then the finish from Wampler. Point, Tornadoes. Bailey Lance. With the serve. Point, Pride. Tornadoes with the 7-6 lead here in the fourth set. Mayfield, the libero, with the service. Tornadoes looking for their third straight win here at the Bosch. They won against NC Wesleyan back on October the 18th, and then a win over Pfeiffer. Point, Tornadoes. Wampler with the finish there. And then last week on senior night, we mentioned the win over Pfeiffer, NC Wesleyan, a win as well, and then looking for 3 straight here against Greensboro. Tack there, Moon, Boulay. That's going to go the Pride's way. Point, Pride. Next up is a trip to Fayetteville, North Carolina for a USA South Conference tri-match where the Tornadoes will face Methodist and also Mary Baldwin. That's on Saturday. Point, Pride. As the Pride win another point there. And then they'll take on Pfeiffer on the road, and then we'll play 2 matches against William Peace in Raleigh, North Carolina. That includes a rescheduled match from Hurricane Helene that they're going to make up on Friday, November the 8th. Point, Pride. And that'll take us to the USA South Conference Tournament, which begins with its first round action on Tuesday, November the 12th. So everything on the road from this point forward for the NATOs. Point, Pride. NATOs have had a 5-4 record this year at the Boschmer Gymnasium, 3-3 on the road, 5-2 in neutral site competition. Point, Pride. As the Pride have rattled off a run there, and it's going to be a timeout for the NATOs. Back here at the Bosch, Krista Brantley will serve for Greensboro, who's been on a tear these last few points. Point Pride. Winner there from Michaels, and Pride now ahead 12-8 here in the fourth set. Moon, Lance, and White along that back row to receive this serve from Brantley. White will have the honors. Fontana, nicely done. Well assisted by Boulay. Point Tornadoes. And Wampler now will handle the serve. Tornadoes ahead 2-1 here in set number 4. Point Pride. Taylor Cody with the winner, junior from Greensboro. Southeast Guilford High School. Grace Young checks back in to serve. Boulay. Fontana, big hit. Dug up by Mayfield. Point Tornadoes. So Fontana now will handle the service. Freshman from Simpsonville, South Carolina. Went to high school in Nebraska, which is where head coach Abby Pardee, her roots are from as well. Point Pride. Nebraska, one of the top states in the United States in the sport of volleyball. Just tremendous high school and college volleyball. If you remember last year, they had a volleyball match at the football stadium for the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Point Pride. Where they set all sorts of records. Somewhere around 80,000 fans watched volleyball at the Nebraska football stadium. Just a remarkable evening. Point NATOs. But it really showed just how popular that sport is in that state, and that program in particular, the Nebraska Cornhuskers, just a dominant college volleyball program. Point Pride. Kelsey Brooks with the finish there. Pride head by 5 points, 16-11. Templeton will handle the serve. Tamicki. Parkins. Dug up well by Young. Point Pride. And the Pride continue this assault. Now up 17-11, and a timeout from head coach Abby Pardee. We were talking about that Nebraska volleyball game that went down on August 30th of 2023. Nebraska played Omaha at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, and I sold them short. 92,000 fans attended that women's volleyball matchup. Talking about the sport flexing their muscles. It broke the world record for attendance at any women's sporting event, surpassing a record that was from a UEFA Women's Champions League soccer match in Europe. So again, the growth of this sport and the sport's popularity in places like Nebraska, just phenomenal. Point Pride. Meanwhile, the Pride continue to pull away here in this fourth set. Meanwhile, Tornadoes need to make a run pretty quick here in this fourth set, or we're inevitably heading towards a fifth. Boulay sets up Parkins. Point Pride. That was off a Tornado, so the point goes to the Pride. 19-11. Pride have hit another gear here in this fourth set. Here's Moon. Point Pride. And the Pride now ahead 20-11, so feeling more and more inevitable. We're heading towards that fifth set. And Templeton's service that time finds the net. Point Tornadoes. Wampler checks in. Hoxett checks out. Moon to serve. Handled there by Brantley. Now a big hit from Brooks. Nados keep that alive somehow. Brooks again. Now Boulay's going to set up Tamicki. Big hit from Tamicki, handled there by Templeton. Nice rally between these two teams here. Attack there from Brantley, handled again by the Nados. Here's Moon. Moon with a big hit from distance. Point Tornadoes. Moon has a knack for doing that. She can attack from pretty far away from the net with some velocity. That's a specific skill that not every player has. Tamicki there with the block. Back-to-back points for the Nados. Point Tornadoes. 20-14. Moon, jump serve. Attack there from Brantley. Parkins now with a big hit. Lance keeping it alive. Attack from Wampler is off the mark. Point Pride. 21-14. Brooks with the serve. And the ace for Brooks. Point Pride. 22-14. Here's Wampler. Off the mark. Point Pride. 23-14. We're 2 points away from heading towards a fifth set, folks. Serve here from Brooks. Comes up short. Point Tornadoes. 23-15. Lance. Here's Wampler. Lance setting up Parkins this time. Point, Tornadoes. 23-16. Bailey Lance with the service. Tornadoes there with the block, Fontana and Parkins. Meanwhile, Lance sets up Moon. Parkins with the hit. Dug up well by Brooks. Point Pride. Set point Pride. So set point opportunity for the Pride here with a huge cushion. Ahead 24-16. And Mayfield, the libero, with the serve. And that's the fourth set. We'll head to 5 sets here at the Bosch. Moments away for the start of a 5th set here at the Bosch. 2 sets apiece through 4. Greensboro won the first set 25-21. Brevard answered with a 25-21 win in the second set, then went on to win set number 3, 25-20. And Greensboro really cruised to a fourth set win. But it's a brand new ball game right here as we start fresh here in the fifth set. First one to 15 wins the match. Parkins and Moon continuing to lead the charge for the Tornadoes offense. 15 kills for Parkins, 14 for Moon, 37 assists for Boulay. 9 service aces for the Tornadoes, including 5 from Bailey Lance. Lance also leads the Nados with 28 digs. In fact, leads all players in that department. Kelsey Brooks, the leading attacker for Greensboro. She has 10 kills, 9 kills for Taylor Cody. Del Castillo's quieted down a little bit since a really hot start now with 8 kills. 37 assists for Templeton. 12 service aces for Greensboro, so topping the Tornadoes mark. That includes 5 from Klingensmith and 3 from Brooks. And 25 digs for the libero, Morgan Mayfield. Also double-digit digs for Brantley, Brooks, and Templeton. So 2 teams with a fresh opportunity here. 5-setter here at the Bosch. Last time the Tornadoes played in a 5-setter was a loss to Salem, who's the top team in the USA South. We mentioned their 12-game win streak. Well, the Tornadoes took Salem to 5 sets right here at the Bosch back on September 24th, and Tornadoes have won 5-set matches this season against the likes of Southern Virginia and Clinton and Bob Jones and Lancaster Bible. Actually beat Bob Jones twice in 5 sets and won their opener way back in August 30th against Concordia Chicago 3-2. That was a match played in Maryville, Tennessee. So a lot of experience in these 5-setters and a lot of success for the Tornadoes this season in 5-set matches. Templeton will start things off as we're making sure we've got all the particulars set as the officials make sure all the rotations are in order at that scorer's table. It's 5-set action. It's what volleyball fans just love about the sport when the tension gets high. Hey, great to see members of the men's basketball team in attendance as well. Mark your calendars, November 9th. That's coming up quick. Season opener for the men's basketball team, 12 o'clock noon, right here at the Bosch versus Randolph College. So here we go. 5th set underway. Templeton with the serve. Moon with the attack. Dug up there by Mayfield. Moon then keeping it alive. Parkins sends it over. Here's Brooks on the attack. Count it for the Pride. Point Pride. So Pride strike first here in this 5th set. Boulay. Parkins. Pride, back-to-back points. Point Pride. Brantley with the finish. Templeton with the service. Boulay. Tamicki trying to slam the door shut, but Del Castillo was there. Point Pride. Pardee, Coach Pardee for the Tornadoes did not like the decision there. Point goes to the Pride. And it's 3-0 Pride. Tamicki and Del Castillo met each other with the ball in between the two of them at the net. Starting to get loud here at the Bosch. Big hit there from Moon. Point Tornadoes. Caroline Moon. Big hit there. More discussion at the scores table. (3-1) your score here in the fifth set. This match has seen 25 tied scores, 10 lead changes. As these two teams have played very even throughout. The one exception being Greensboro with a big run in that fourth set to force this fifth set. Tornadoes there for the block. Tamiki. Point Tornadoes. 3-2. Pride on top. Moon. Dug up there nicely by Michaels. Boulay now going Parkins backside. Lance sends it over after Wampler kept it alive. Now Moon keeps it alive for the Nados. Boulay setting up Parkins. Rally continues. Point Tornadoes. And the Tornadoes have scored 3 straight points to tie this up at 3. 26th tied score of the match. Serve from Moon. Count it, an ace. Tornadoes ace. 4 straight points for the Nados. Moon service that time handled well by Greensboro, and Greensboro is going to earn the point. Tie things back up at 4. Point Pride. Mayfield will handle the service. She has 1 service ace to her credit this evening. Boulay, Tamiki. Point Nados. Point Tornadoes. Bailey Lance back to work on the service. 5 service aces tonight for Lance. Almost had number 6 there, but somehow Brooks got a piece of it. Then the Tornadoes with the block. Parkins and Fontana. Point Tornadoes. Great to see the Tornadoes getting it done in this block department. Unofficially, that's 6 blocks of the solo variety. Credit that one to Parkins. And then an ace. Tornadoes ace. Tornadoes 7, Pride 4. Tornadoes trailed 3-0 in this fifth set and have scored 7 of the last 8 points. As some more court maintenance here. Want to make sure that playing service is safe for these student athletes. Tornadoes 7, Pride 4. The serve from Lance. It's a laser handled by Brooks. Another point for the Nados. Point Tornadoes. And the two teams will switch sides with Brevard leading 8-4 in an 8-1 scoring run for Brevard College. And the NATOs looking to continue this momentum as the two teams switch sides. So Brevard will now be playing left to right on your device. Appreciate you wherever you may be tuning in from. If you haven't done so already, hit subscribe on this YouTube channel and hit that little bell. That way you receive all the notifications when the Tornadoes go live. Bailey Lance with the service. Tornadoes up 8-4. Serve from Lance. Brooks again received it. Parkins, big hit there. Count it for the NATOs. Point Tornadoes. Timeout on the court. And a timeout for Greensboro. An 8-1 run by Brevard after trailing 3-0 in this fifth set. And the Tornadoes have just come alive here. Brevard, big performances from Caroline Moon with 15 kills and McKenna Parkins with 16. Boulay has hit the 40 assist mark for this contest. And the Tornadoes with a 5-point lead. Here in this fifth set. It's the sixth time this season that Boulay has hit 40 assists. Her season high and career high, 47 assists against Clinton College earlier this season. Lance will continue the service. 9-4, NATO's on top. Fifth set action here at the Bosch. Point Pride. So that attack went off a Tornado hand. Mayfield will handle the service. Brantley with that last kill. 9-5, your score. Boulay sets up Parkins. Dug up well there by Templeton. Then Moon keeps it alive on the back row. Big hit there for Wampler. Point Tornadoes. Big time hit from Wampler. 8 kills for Wampler. Lily White checks in. White has a service ace to her credit. Also 2 assists and a dig this evening. One of the top servers for the NATOs. 10-5 NATOs on top here. Set number 5. Moon handles a big hit from the Pride. Now Moon from distance goes with the off speed. White, Moon. Pride, nice job keeping it alive in the finish. Point Pride. Taylor Cody. Now in the double digits in kills as well. So Cody and Brooks in double digits for Greensboro. Parkins and Moon for the NATOs in the kill department. Here's Fontana. And a violation on the NATOs. Point Pride. Fontana touched the net there on that last attempt and inevitably The opponent's going to earn a point there. Easy call for the official. 10-7 your score. Fontana was there defensively. Great job at the net this evening by the Tornadoes. Point, Tornadoes! And then Fontana getting it done on the offensive side as well. 11-7 your score. Wampler with the service. Served by Wampler. Point, Pride. Pride able to wrestle the service back, earn another point. It's a 3-point ball game here in the 5th set, 11-8 Tornadoes. Young will handle the serve. White. Big hit from Moon, handled well by the Pride. Then a finish from Brooks. Point, Pride. 11-9 your score. Fontana with the attack. Now here's Brooks. Moon. And the block from Cody. Point, Pride. Timeout on the court. And a timeout on the court with Tornadoes leading 11-10 here in the 5th set. Stick with us. Back here at the Bosch, Tornadoes 11, Pride 10, set number 5. And a serve from Grace Young. Boulay sets up Fontana, big hit for Fontana. Point, Tornadoes. So coming out of the timeout, beautifully done by the Nados. Fontana with the finish, and now Fontana with the serve. Tornadoes up 12-10. Boulay sets up Fontana. Fontana from distance, and Greensboro was there for the block once again. Cody and Brooks. Point, Pride. We've seen some great work from both these teams at the net with the block, and that time Cody was there. Klingensmith leads all players with 5 aces on the match. Hawks it. Boulay sets up Moon. Moon. Here comes Greensboro the other way. Del Castillo, but Tamicki was there at the net. Boulay. Moon. Big hit from Moon, but it's long. Point, Pride. 12-12. Tension starting to ratchet up here in the 5th set. Klingensmith with the serve. And it's long. Point, Tornadoes. Tornadoes 2 points away from pay dirt, 13-12. Izzy Boulay with the service. Boulay with one service ace tonight. Jump serve from Boulay. Lance, she's going to set up Parkins. The two seniors working together. Tornadoes keep it alive. Boulay's going to send it over. That'll set up an opportunity for Greensboro. Here's Brooks, dug up by Hoxett. Moon, unable to get the angle there. Point Pride tied up at 13. Point Pride. Templeton with the service. All tied up at 13. First one to 15 wins. Have to win by 2. Lance. Boulay. Here's Parkins. Parkins with the finish. 14-13 match point. Point Tornadoes. Match point Tornadoes. So a match point opportunity here for the Nados. 14-13 your score. Moon with the serve. Greensboro back on their heels. They're going to have to just send it over. This will be an offensive opportunity for the Nados. Here's Parkins. Well defended by Del Castillo and company. And then the Tornadoes there with the block. Parkins and Tamicki was there as well. Lance now sets up Parkins again. Del Castillo keeps things alive. Now Wampler with the attack. It's wide. Point Pride. And we're tied up at 14. It's officially a tension convention here at the Bosch, as Brooks will handle the service. Junior from Burlington, North Carolina. Boulay sets up to Mickey. Lance keeps it alive. Moon. Now an opportunity for Greensboro. Templeton sets up a huge hit by Brantley. Point Pride. Timeout on the court. So a match point opportunity for the Pride coming up out of the timeout. 15-14, Pride on top. So match point opportunity here for the Pride. Boulay sets up Parkins. Parkins with the big hit. But it goes the Pride's way. Pride win the match 16-14 here in the fifth set. So the Pride put things away there in the fifth set, winning the fifth set 16-14. nothing to hang your head about when the Tornadoes facing a team that now has improved to 11-4 in the USA South Conference, 18-7 overall. Tornadoes fall to 5-8 in the USA South Conference, 13-10 overall. Hey, big congratulations to McKenna Parkins. She was honored in a pregame ceremony, having eclipsed the 1,000 kill mark. Huge accomplishment, and she came up big in this one as well. But ultimately, Greensboro, too much for the Tornadoes to handle in that final set. Greensboro really came on big in that fourth set and then put things away in the final fifth set. So stick with us. We'll have final stats for you in just a moment. But your final score, Pride win 3-2, winning in that fifth set 16-14, as head coach Abby Pardee, assistant coach Eric Freed talk things over with their squad, and the Tornadoes will regroup, head to USA South Conference tri-match action this weekend, and will continue their USA South Conference play. So the Tornadoes come up just short in this one. Really a hard-fought battle, a lot of action all the way around. Big nights from players like Parkins and Moon, Boulay, of course, with the assists. And Greensboro, certainly some big performances as well. And Greensboro moves into third place in the USA South Conference standings. Now 11-4 in conference play. Parkins with 17 kills, Moon with 15 officially, Izzy Boulay with 44 assists. Bailey Lance had 6 aces, also 2 aces for Fontana. Tornadoes 11 as a team. And Bailey Lance with 32 digs. Caroline Moon had 24 digs. Moon really did so much in this one. Meanwhile, Greensboro led offensively by Brooks with 12 kills. Also Cody with 11 kills, 45 assists for Templeton, 5 service aces for Klingensmith, and 32 digs for Mayfield. So that'll do it for us here at the Boschberg Gymnasium. Big thanks to all that helped behind the scenes. Really appreciate all their help. Olivia Tyner with the camera work for us. And great group helping us behind the scenes. Sports Information Director Joseph Marvin and Izzy Musser handling things on the statistical side of things. Alex Spangler, appreciate his work as the broadcast spotter. Sharif Pennington and Justin Espino pushing all the buttons, producing this show. Brennan Wansley helping out as well. And big shout out to our still photographer, Caden O'Brien. Well, that'll do it for action here at the Bosch. Your final score for the final time: Greensboro defeats Brevard in 5 sets, 3-2, 16-14 in set number 5. Until next time, go Tornadoes.